No, it's just people are worried about, but I have 100%. You That's not what it is. It's about telling you if I can get it, you should be able to get it. I'm at 92. I have some knees issues, shoulder issues. I don't even have my PTSD thing in there. And what happened was when I submitted, my guy didn't tell me to keep adding my stuff as I was because I got diagnosed with it and I saw everybody, but it didn't get added to my case because or the part where they needed to see to say, hey, he has a diagnosis for it. And people understand if you don't have the diagnosis, but it doesn't matter if it's connected to your military. And they have to be seen for it recently. You have to have that diagnosis. And that's what people don't understand. It's a whole totally different industry. I just don't like the people who do 5 times the increases and the other stuff and take that amount of money that, the attorneys charge 30%, which you really don't need the attorneys for. You might need them for an appeal, but you don't need them for any other reason.
Yeah,
That's
I
just my
I
take
didn't
on it. So
I had a VSO do it for me, and that's I mean that's the right answer. There's a whole bunch of folks out there that talk to like Veterans Info Tap on YouTube, and they talk a whole game about all their stuff. But what I found is just going through my VSO, even though that process was frustrating, right? Like talking to him and trying to use him as a middleman between me and the VA. It reached a point where I finally cut the middleman out and kind of handled the communication myself. But it was easy because I had my VSO who helped walk me through the initial phases, and that it made a lot of sense. And I didn't have to pay anything because that's what the VSO is there for. And the fact that you're working on the app is, I mean, that's going to be a huge benefit as well. But I still think, personally, I think that the VSO is probably the most critical part of the initial phase just to get it filed. Because they'll tell you if you get a good VSO, they will
that's
tell you if you're
okay,
missing
that's the thing.
things.
There's 10% of them are good. That's the problem. They're not
Yeah.
all good, and that's the issue. So if you can bypass them, because when I got out, I went through, you doing your 1 week out and you sit with the DAV, just they don't want American, they put in certain things, but they don't really help. I mean, they help to a certain point, but not the way because I've been through both sides and now I understand the whole process and how it should be. So I'm trying to make it to where if you most people get out, especially after 20 years, they are everything's in. If they were told, right, get in your medical record before you get out. And then as you're getting out, you do the stuff, here's your 100% or 50 or whatever the number is. It's a little different. But if it's 20 years ago, 30 years ago, those type of things, it's a lot harder. And I've found that even with my app, they're still going to need help because some people I ran into a 70-year-old guy who's a Vietnam vet who he thought he was at 100%, but it's because of his surgeries he's had. I'm like, you're not PNT, dude. It doesn't say PNT right there. It says this is going to be gone in March of 26 because it's a surgery. You're 100% right now, but it's going away. But my doctor said, yeah, he's talking about when he does your other knee. You're going to be able to keep it for another 6 months. It's not PNT. You can't go get the taxes taken off your house. You can't do all this other stuff. Get rid of a student. Oh, by the way, if you do get student loans, you can get rid of them even after the fact. So just so you know.
Hmm.
Because if you have student loans now and you get 100% and they're federally, they go away.